Barcelona have done it. It is a win for Barcelona against Atletico de Madrid. It was a very dogged performance, a very, very difficult 1-0. But at the end of the day, it is a win for Football Club Barcelona that puts them top of La Liga. So today we lined up with a 4-3-3 with Ter Stegen, Balde, Christensen, Araujo, and Koundé as the back line, Busquets, De Jong, Pedri in midfield, and Gavi, Ansu Fati, and Dembele up front. And it was a very interesting performance from Barcelona. As usual, we dominated possession, and the shots, on the other hand, was actually dominated towards Atletico Madrid. For one of the first times in their history, they managed to get 20 shots, and the fouls, of course, were Barcelona's as well. So again, it was a very, very dominant performance from Atletico de Madrid, and other than the first 25 minutes where Barcelona were in complete control, it was really a performance where Atletico Madrid were dominant. Now, continuing with this, Barcelona were also very, very dominated in the corners as well, as Atletico Madrid dominated them 7-4. Passes, as usual, due to the possession, was dominated by Barcelona, and the expected goals was dominated by Atletico de Madrid just because of the amount of shots and the amount of chances they had in the game. And although this game was not ideal for Barcelona and Barcelona fans, there is only one thing that matters, and that is the final result. Barcelona have won again in La Liga. They are unbeaten at home in La Liga. They have beaten Atletico Madrid for the first time since 2019 at the Wanda Metropolitano. It was a superb performance, and most importantly, we actually bounced back from two terrible performances against both Espanyol and obviously Intercity in the Cup. And this is what we wanted to see from Barcelona. Maybe it wasn't the best performance in the world, but this was what was important, and Barcelona actually managed to do that. Now, what does this mean for the future? Well, the next three games are very difficult for Barcelona. We have Betis away, which is going to be very difficult in a new country as well for the Supercopa. And then we have Ceuta versus Barcelona in Copa del Rey, which is going to be a very interesting trip near South Africa. And then we have Getafe versus Barcelona, which we know Getafe is a very difficult side. Although they're a mid-table team, they can certainly cause a lot of problems, as they've shown, and that will be a very difficult game. And similarly, I think there was a lot of indications with the substitutions we made today. Ansu Fati was the first player to be subbed off for Barcelona, and Ansu was just not looking right today. And let's be honest, it's a position that he's not that familiar with in the center forward position. Similarly, De Jong was subbed off as well, which I still can't understand. He was the first player to be subbed off in the midfield, and to be honest, I don't get why he keeps getting subbed off before Busquets, but that's Xavi's way of doing it. But it's good to see Kessie got some minutes as well. Gavi also got subbed off after a really good performance. Busquets, I think, wasn't playing terribly, but he also wasn't great. So again, Busquets was a player that was subbed off. Was subbed off fourth, and then there was Balde, who was subbed off for Marcos Alonso in the final minutes. In terms of my player ratings for today, it was pretty clear, to be honest. Ter Stegen deserves an 8, absolutely superb today. So many ridiculous saves, just a wonderful performance. Christensen and Araujo, what a combination. Again, an amazing performance. And Christensen, I think, showed over 100 passes today. So many good passes. So many interceptions. Great anticipation. Just a ridiculous signing that we made for €0 to remember. And Araujo, I mean, this is something we've just come to expect from Araujo. Absolutely superb. And then with their fullbacks, I think they were both okay, but Koundé especially was very important for the team. And Balde, I thought he was a little bit shaky, was really caught pretty early on defensively. And then in terms of our midfield, Frankie was, as usual, pretty solid. Busquets wasn't too bad, but was also pretty solid, I would say. And Pedri was absolutely superb. Deserves an 8, could have deserved a 9, was absolutely superb. And he was my man of the match only because of the influence he has on this team so much. And at the age of just, 20 now, he's absolutely superb, and he is crucial for the future of this football club. And similarly, everyone in the front three did have a pretty decent performance. I think Dembele was probably the standout just because of the goal he scored. And Ansu Fati was a very, very interesting performance today because he was really not able to show his true qualities. And he's been struggling of late, but to start him in a big game is a big thing from Xavi, and he managed to really do that. Now, in terms of the big opinions that have come on Twitter and other places, so Neil has said that there's a 0% chance that we would have won without this backline, which is immense, especially with these two center backs. And it's been a while since he's seen the side hold their own against serious pressure in a game that truly mattered against a big side/rival. And I think this is what's important. I think in recent years we've shown that we can play really good football, but what we haven't shown is that we can actually fight. and that is something we did today. And similarly, we've only conceded 6 goals in the top 5 leagues after 16 matches in La Liga, and we have to remember that 3 of them came against Real Madrid. So really, we've been a team that has been solid since the beginning of La Liga, and as you can see in the stats, it was a performance that we'll not look back in 20 years saying, oh my god, what a performance, but we'll look back at the end of the season saying, that might have won us the league.